He was just a teen walking home. A cop shot him 16 times. They buried the footage, hid it for nearly a year. But when the truth finally surfaced, the world watched in outrage, and a city was forced to confront its silence. The October wind cut through Marcus Lee's hoodie as he walked down Martin Street SW in Atlanta. The air was sharp and dry, carrying that uneasy chill that hinted winter was coming. Marcus was 17, old enough to understand what the world thought of him, too young to be numb to it. He kept his head low, hands deep in his pockets. He wasn't high, he wasn't drunk, just hurt. Hurt from another argument at home, another day of feeling invisible. In his jacket pocket, he carried a small pocket knife, not for trouble, just for safety. In his neighborhood, walking home without protection could make you the target. He never pulled it, never flashed it, just carried it like armor made of fear and habit. Streetlights flickered against puddles of old rain. A police siren echoed somewhere behind him, but he didn't flinch. Atlanta had taught him not to. Flinching made you look guilty, and Marcus was tired of being treated like guilt in human form. He had a record, truancy, a couple of fights, anger management classes, but he also had dreams. He played drums at his aunt's church. He wanted to fix cars one day, maybe even open his own shop. He wasn't sure which was harder, surviving or dreaming. A 911 call came through dispatch. Black male, late teens, acting erratic, possibly armed with a knife. Patrol cars rolled out fast. The first two cruisers followed Marcus from a distance. No one got out. They just trailed him, slow, quiet, watching. Then Officer Darren Cole arrived. He came in hard, tires screeching. Cole didn't call out, didn't issue a warning. He stepped out of his car, hand already gripping his gun. His pulse raced, his mind replaying every threat briefing he'd ever sat through. Hoodie, knife, black male. Fear did the rest. Marcus turned, saw the flashing lights, slowed his walk halfway, raised his hands halfway. He didn't run, he didn't lunge, but Cole's gun went up anyway. Then came the first shot. Marcus jerked backwards, screaming. His knees buckled. He hit the ground. The officer didn't stop. 16 times the trigger was pulled. 16 explosions in the night. Most of them after Marcus was already still. Silence followed. Only the dashcam ticked softly, recording everything. Blood spread across the pavement like spilled paint. The wind stilled. The lights of passing cars blinked off wet asphalt, indifferent. Backup arrived. One officer whispered, "Did he charge?" Another said, "We'll say he did." The reports were written before the ambulance even came. The narrative stitched together. Suspect advanced with a knife. Officer feared for his life. Another case closed before it ever opened. But someone knew better. Someone saw the footage. The video was labeled Incident 10-20-2014 West End Cam 04.mp4. Stored, archived, buried. Officer Elena Brooks, a digital tech at the precinct, was assigned to process the dashcam files that week. She'd seen fights, arrests, chaos, but never execution. When she pressed play, her body froze. Marcus wasn't charging. He wasn't facing the officer when the shots began. By the fourth bullet, he was down. By the 16th, he hadn't moved in nearly 10 seconds. Elena paused, rewound, watched again. Her hands trembled. This wasn't fear. This was murder. Her supervisor told her to delete it from the active queue. Chain of custody, he said. Forget it ever existed. But she didn't. She saved a copy, hid it on a small encrypted drive tucked behind her kitchen drawer. For months, it sat there like a secret she couldn't carry or destroy. Then came the message. Investigative journalist Darius Quinn, known for exposing corruption, reached out through an anonymous tip line. "I know there's footage. Someone inside has it. Please talk to me." At first, Elena ignored it. Then she saw Marcus's mother, Angela Lee, on TV, eyes swollen, holding a framed photo of her son. "They killed my boy like he was nothing," she said, her voice breaking, "but he was everything to me." That night, Elena sent the file. 3 weeks later, the footage leaked. Not shared, leaked. Sent to one newsroom, encrypted, with a note, "The world deserves to see this." When the video aired, the nation froze. It wasn't just a shooting, it was an execution. Marcus walked, he fell, he bled, and the officer kept firing. No threat, no warning, no mercy. Within hours, the footage spread everywhere. Newsrooms, barbershops, churches, and classrooms. 16 shots and a cover-up. The chant began quietly, then grew like thunder. Crowds filled downtown Atlanta. Candles, signs, tears. Mayor Richard Holloway went live on TV, calling it a tragedy, promising investigations, but no one believed him anymore. The people didn't want speeches, they wanted accountability. Marcus's photo was taped to a lamppost at the corner of Ralph David Abernathy and Cascade. Someone left his old headphones beneath it. By midnight, that street had become a shrine. Graffiti spread across brick walls. He was just a kid. #Justice for Marcus. Months passed. Protests turned to policy debates. Officer Darren Cole faced trial. The courtroom was packed. Press, community leaders, families who had seen the story too many times. The jury watched the dashcam video again and again. Each gunshot echoed like a heartbeat of guilt. The prosecutor's voice shook but never cracked. "This wasn't a mistake," she said. "This was a message, and our city has heard it too many times." When the verdict came, guilty on all counts, the room erupted. Angela Lee didn't cheer. She just whispered, "My baby can rest." 1 year later, at the exact intersection where Marcus fell, the community gathered again. 16 candles flickered in the dark, one for each shot, one for every reason to keep fighting. Children held signs, elders prayed, strangers hugged. Angela placed the first candle, her voice steady. "This is for my son, Marcus. He was more than a hashtag." The city changed after that. Not overnight, but enough. More cameras, more training, more eyes on the truth. But for Angela, nothing could fill the silence in her home. Still, every time she saw a boy in a hoodie walking home, hands out of his pockets, head held high, she whispered, "Walk proud, baby. Walk proud and walk home." Because Marcus Lee didn't just die that night. He lit a fire, and 16 candles still burn across Atlanta, carrying his name, his truth, and his light.